I spent the last 3 weeks of my life playing the London system 100 times. Why? To prove a point. It sucks! London players do the same thing every game and it makes me want to kill myself. If you don't already know, I'm a 2100 rated chess player, but I've never played the London in my life. I'm gonna make a new account and hide the ratings on each game. And at the end, I'll reveal what rating I got with my least favorite opening in chess. Okay, first things first, let's make a new account for this challenge. So, username, okay. London system is Dogwater. Alright, that sounds like a good username for this challenge. And let's go. And we're in. Before the video starts, chess.com, please don't ban me. Game 1. We first have to agree to these fair play rules. Let's just hit I agree. Let's start it out with d4, which I have never played in my life, and he plays c5. Okay, and I know my bishop is usually supposed to go on d3, but because he has this structure, it goes to e2. That's the most I know about the London system. So after we get out of the opening, I'm pretty comfortable in this middle game because, you know, I'm supposed to be like 500 points higher rated than this guy or something. Okay, I think we're winning this pawn now. And now that it gets into an endgame, since I'm just the GOAT at endgames, I get doubled rooks on his 7th file and I'm completely dominating this position. I'm winning his f7 pawn and the rest should soon fall until... Okay, I might have messed this up a little bit. Yeah, and so I actually don't know how I fumbled this hard. We play this out and he manages to get his pawn to b2, 1 square away from promotion. And then with 20 whole seconds left on the clock, I blundered the easiest tactic I've ever seen, and he gets a queen on the board. And so losing the very first game of the challenge, especially as white, was very demoralizing for me. And so, you know, since I'm curious who I just lost to, I decided to go check his profile. And this is my live reaction to when I realized that I just lost to a 1400. How does that make sense? Okay, so I've never done this before, and I've never seen anyone do this before, but I'm gonna try to play the London system as black. Yeah, so like I said, I tried to recreate the basic structure, and oh, who would've thought I'm able to play the London system this game? No way! But yeah, out of the opening, I get a pretty dominant position, I feel, with my light squared bishop just being super strong, and then I keep my king in the center and open up a really nice attack with my rook, which leads me to win an exchange, and then I find this really nice tactic that wins a pawn, and overall it's just a really clean game. I just cleanly converted this and won my first game of the challenge. Game 4 was pretty easy. I got my London structure, I long castled, and then I went into an endgame and just took all his pawns. And for game 5, since this is the 5th game that I'm playing on a brand new account, it's the game that I get an actual rating. But I was just pushing my pawns on the queen side, and then he made a mistake which blundered a pawn, and then he made another mistake which blundered a piece, and yeah, he just gave up. And the rating that I got on my brand new account was 1523, which is actually pretty good for only playing 5 games. This is gonna be the only point in the video where I reveal my rating, so consider this as a starting point. Alright, game 6 started out as usual with me being kinda clueless. Alright, I still don't know what to do here, so I'm just gonna do what I think is the London system. And then, I kid you not, this guy saw that I was playing the London system 3 moves in, and then he just dipped because he was not trying to play the London this game. Like, that's what this opening does to some people. Alright, I just realized that the ratings for that game were showing, so I'm gonna enable that we hide the ratings during the game, and I'm gonna reveal what rating I get to at the end of the challenge. And I also decided to make my profile a little bit more representative. But game 10, something tragic happened. It was off to an interesting start. I accidentally got my bishop trapped, but I was able to get 3 pawns in exchange for it. Then he got greedy and took a pawn with his knight, and we basically spent this whole game fighting for this knight on a3, but in the end I was able to win the knight and just have a huge advantage in the endgame. But because of the time pressure and because of how weak my king is, this happened. So I switched from 3+2 to 3-0 so that we get into a little bit more of those time scrambles. So I accidentally played e4 out of habit, but since this is an actual good opening, I went on to win this game pretty easily. I was actually really tired and just not focused for game 17, but as usual, I got my London structure out of the opening, and I ended up opening the A file and just completely taking control of it with my rooks. but I was starting to get really low on time, and especially with no increment, the time pressure really gets to you. I got into this endgame up a pawn, and I think I have winning chances, but this is theoretically a draw. But since I have 20 seconds left on the clock, since I was just not managing my time well throughout this game, I just blunder a really simple tactic and lose my rook. I was not feeling great after this loss, but I decided that I just needed to lock in. Game 24 started out pretty slow with me getting my London structure, but then I expanded and it got a huge center, and I expanded even more on the queen side, pushing away all his pieces. But then I doubled up on the A file, won his rook, and I'm gonna win another one, so he just resigns. Game 25, he drops the bishop in the opening, and then we trade queens and go into an endgame. He tries to maneuver around his knight, but he drops that too. And being up 2 pieces, I push my pawn down the board and there's no stopping it. Game 26, I'm definitely a little worse in the opening, but I open up the A file and the F file for myself, and he's forced to just completely give me the A file. We then trade knights and go into a bishop-queen endgame, but since all his pawns are in light squares and he has a dark squared bishop, I'm just able to bring my king around and take all of his pawns. And I'm just easily able to win this game, even with 3 seconds left on the clock. Wait. Ignoring what just happened, game 27 I got my structure, and then I was able to win a piece in exchange for weakening my king a little bit, and then I got a nice outpost for my knight, and then I sacrificed my other knight in order for my queen to come in, and this attack is just too strong and he cannot stop this. Game 31 I play a weird reverse London system as black or something, but we trade off bishops pretty early, and I spend most of the middle game just maneuvering my knights to better squares. I then open up my rook on the F file, and then find a nice tactic that wins me a pawn. And I decide to trade queens since I'm just cleanly up a pawn here. Since I do actually know how the knight moves, I just take all his pawns, and there's no hope for him anymore. Game 32, I get my structure as usual, and out of the opening, I'm just in a really comfortable position with a super strong battery on the light squares. I'm not really scared of this attack, and I think c4 is a really nice move, activating my queen and opening up my rook. I then get my rook to the 7th, activate my queen even more, and yeah, I went to sleep after that. Alright, game 43, I'm already like so sick and tired of playing the London system, and so that's why I decide to like experiment a little bit, and so I push my F pawn and try to like play actively on the king side. I think I get a pretty nice position after he decides to trade queens, because my rook is super strong and I'm just bothering all of his pawns. But once we get here, I'm up 2 pawns, but 3 of my pawns are outside passers, and there's no stopping this, and since I do feel a little bit devious, I make a knight and he times out. Game 45, I get my structure like I do in literally every other game. And then for this entire middle game, I'm just playing really slow. Since this is a very close middle game, it's very hard to like exactly know what to do and where to maneuver your pieces. So I spend a lot of time on like moves that just like I shouldn't be spending time on, and I should just do something even though I'm not sure about it. And so I end up getting very low on time, and this is what happened in the time scramble. Bro, why would he take my bishop there? And time trouble is a recurring theme for me, because on game 48, he just has these 2 knights and it completely holds down his position like a fortress. Like my dark squared bishop can't infiltrate at all, and my light squared bishop is just kind of useless. And so I spent like way too much time trying to figure out like exactly how I should tackle this position, but my time just got way too low and I ended up getting smothered. And here I actually started to go on a tilt a little bit, and because my opponent played something that I have no idea how to play against, I just fall into this opening trap and like I don't even want to talk about what happens. Game 50 was super interesting though. So first of all, don't ask me what opening I played, but my opponent was expanding a lot on the queen side, and this actually led to me having some problems. I learned from my past mistakes by taking a risk and not fully calculating it and spending all my time, and so I just thought that this was really strong for me. And it was actually. This ended up in me being up a clean rook, and I did actually get pretty low on time, but I went on to win this game pretty easily up a rook. Alright, game 52, I'm positive that my opponent is like the worst kind of chess player that you'll ever go against. So I mouse slipped king f8 when I went to castle, and I offered him a draw, and he went out of his way to hit the decline button on the draw. And so then I spend the middle game, and I feel like I improved my position a lot actually. I was able to trade off his strong light squared bishop, and I'm not doing too bad on the queen side either. I do make a mistake though, which cost me a couple pawns, but my rooks are very active on his second rank, and so I basically have activity over material here. We equalize material, and he does win this other pawn. I keep a rook, and this is theoretically a draw. And after we trade rooks, this happens. I have opposition here, so he can't win this. I just have to not get flagged. To be fair though, I was not managing my time well though, and if my opponent was down a bunch of time in an endgame like this, I definitely would have done the same. At this point in the challenge, I was feeling just really bad. I thought that my rating would be way higher than what it is, like maybe 1900 or even 2000, but in reality, it was actually way lower. And it just felt like nothing I was doing was working. And so I could have taken a couple days to study the London system, look at some lines, and practice the opening a little bit. But because of how salty I was, I decided to do something better. Why don't I play Bullet? Alright, game 1 of Bullet. I have no idea what opening I'm playing. Whoa, what? Wait, after my first game, my Bullet rating is 1800. How did I hang my queen there? Bro, I'm 2000 bullet. That's like higher than on my main account. Bro, my mic is literally blocking like half of my screen. I can't see. Why does he have so many pawns? I may or may not have played the wrong opening again. Wait, I'm actually so locked in right now and I don't even play this opening. How did I blunder that? Yes! I'm 2200 bullet and he has mate in 1. This is like 300 points higher than my bullet rating on my main account. And I'm using the London system. No, if I actually keep winning, I'm gonna have to drop out of school and play chess professionally. I'm gonna be the Magnus Carlsen. Bro, what am I doing? No, this is why the London sucks, bro. Why is my bishop on f4? Okay, you know, 1 loss is 2200 is nothing. Okay, no, 2 losses, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, 3 losses, it doesn't matter. No, this 4th loss didn't count, bro. I was completely winning. Okay, 5. No, I'm done. I'm done with Bullet. I'm never playing this game again. Alright, we're back to Blitz, but I was pretty locked in for Bullet, so let's hope that I can transfer some of that locked inness for Blitz. Alright, out of the opening, my opponent tried to scholars mate me for some reason, but I dealt with that pretty easily. And now his queen is just kind of in a weird place. And I expanded a lot on the queen side with the idea of kicking away this knight on c3, but it didn't really work and I had to trade off my light squared bishop. I'm really not used to not having a bishop on g7, and that's how I blundered this pawn, and after this, it was just a downward spiral. And then this happens. And here we blitz out the opening. Again, don't ask me what opening I played this game. I just played a sideline of the London system. But yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with my position here, and I have very strong control of the dark squares. And then he opens up an attack on my king, but I defend it pretty well and shift all the action onto the queen side, and then I kinda jinx him here. This is the most unsafe king I've ever seen in my life. Game 76 was really back and forth, so again, I decided to experiment with another sideline of the London system. Just trust me on that one. And I blunder a pawn and yap a little bit about it. Bro, who plays queen d2 there? That's like, I should play h6 sooner so I can play king h7. And then I play f5 and go on an offensive now that the h file has been opened for me. And I'm just down so much material here, but it doesn't matter because his king is like insanely unsafe. But I definitely fumbled the attack because I allow his king to go to the other side of the board, and I'm just not winning enough material to compensate for everything that I sacrificed. But then he also fumbles, and now suddenly I'm up a rook, and it takes me like a couple seconds to even realize it. Somehow I'm up a rook here. I have no idea how. And yeah, I mean, an extra rook in an endgame like this is just no chance. Game 77, I get white, so I go back to basics and play a mainline London system. In this middle game, I just move around my pieces a little bit, but I'm a little tight on space. And eventually both my knights somehow end up on my back rank. I trade off his strong light squared bishop and try to maneuver around my knights, but I end up moving it back to trade off his knight that's on an outpost. And here, for some reason, he chooses not to defend this pawn, so now I'm in an endgame up a pawn, and I blockade this pawn with my rook, and we just trade everything off, but because my knight is just the goat, I win his bishop, and he just resigns. Game 80, 4/5 of the way there. This opening is again another interesting sideline of the London. I recommend you check it out. It's called the Sicilian Dragon. And after I trade off his dark squared bishop, I'm just in a really good position because I have complete control of the dark squares. And then his queen and his king are lined up. So when he moves the knight, he relinquishes defense of d4, and I just skewer the queen and pick it up completely for free. And I was completely expecting him to resign here, but he doesn't. So we just play this out, and I'm actually getting attacked a little bit, but I open up the center and bring my major pieces in. And once he pushes f6, his entire attack is shut down and he just has nothing. I picked up both of his pieces, and after this is just over. Game 82, I go back to a mainline London system. At this point in the challenge, I'm very familiar with this position, and I know pretty much all the lines here just by playing it. And he tries to go for an attack, but I actually fork his knights. And I could have done this a couple moves earlier, but I had missed it. But he just has no way to keep both of his knights, and he ends up losing the more important one, which I think he just didn't see. He tries to bring his queen in, but I stop queen h6 by playing queen g5, and then I bring my other knight in and go for a fork. It's a little bit dangerous here, and I almost play knight g3, but that's probably almost losing, so I just play g3, and then there's no threat anymore. And yeah, we trade rooks, and being up so much material, this endgame is just extremely easy to convert. Game 83 is another classic London system, and we just blitz out the opening, but after playing 83 games of this, I definitely know what I'm doing here. My knight is very happy to be on b4, controlling a lot of important squares, and we trade off a bunch of stuff, and my rook infiltrates to the 7th rank. His bishop pair is very strong until he drops one of them, and after this fork, he dips. Game 85, my dark squared bishop is once again very strong in the middle game, just seeing this entire diagonal. He tries to defend his knight, but then allows a fork, picking up the exchange. And then it gets very complicated here actually, because I'm skewering his rook and his bishop, but he's also attacking my rook. And so I take a while to think about how to win material here, and I think I found the best way. And for some reason he drops a knight, and after that I flex my Hikaru pre-moves. Game 87 is a very normal London system, but we trade off both bishops pretty early. I open the center with e4, which I think is a pretty good move to make progress here, and then take the open file with my rook. I spend a lot of time looking for tactics here, but there just weren't any, and I thought that since I had so much time, it wouldn't matter in the long run. But once we got here, I started spending even more time looking for some possible mate or combination that wins material. And again, I think there's just nothing here, and I just wasted a bunch of time looking for it. And so that's how I blundered this pawn with 5 seconds left on the clock, and eventually flagged. Game 90. We are on to the final 10 games, so I'm gonna lock in for these last 10 games and try to get my rating to as high as humanly possible. Oh yeah, one more thing, I also got a low taper fade, so let me know how it looks. Alright, so I was really just trying to not mess up these last 10 games, and I was actually really trying to go for a 10-game win streak to finish off the challenge. But as you'll see later on, it does not go that well. And so I just pushed my queenside pawns and then centralized my knight, and I was actually kind of surprised when he went all the way back. And then we traded off light squared bishops, and I was trying to launch an attack because he has 3 pieces on this same diagonal. And so I really thought I had something here, so I thought for a while, but I decided to just trade everything, and I ended up winning a pawn. Alright, I don't know if this works, so I'm just gonna go for it. And for some reason, he gives me his queen, so I'll just gladly accept that. I'll take the queen. And he tries to get some counterplay with this exchange sack, but obviously there's just actually no chance that... Alright, game 94, my opponent plays c5, but we still go into this mainline London system. And of course, since this position just kind of sucks, I go for this e4 break. Like bro, I've played this move like 20 times before, like why would I not go for it again? But yeah, I just try to get some space in the center, and for some reason he pushes g5, which kind of just weakens his king for no real purpose. But I take the open file with my queen, and then try to go for this b3 pawn break on the queen side. And then my queen actually almost gets trapped, but I'm lucky that I have this knight e5 resource. And then I kick away his bishop with f3. And then my opponent does this. Now this should be winning now, because I take here with check and both of these pieces are attacked. So I don't know what he's trying to do with this. And yeah, I am right. This is winning for me because it's essentially just a fork. And he decides to give me his bishop in exchange for tripling my pawns. And now actually my pawn structure is just like hideous, bruh. But since I'm up a bunch of material, I'm just trying to trade everything. And this is one of the only times where I'm the one forking my opponent. And after this, he just resigns. Game 95 is once again a mainline London system, but my opponent pushes a bunch of pawns on his queen side, and I trade off my light square bishop for this knight, but now he just has like a wall of pawns on the king side. And since my king kind of is getting attacked, I opened up the center, kind of shift the action off of my king. Here, I actually think for a really long time about a tactic that gives me bishop c7 with the tempo by moving my knight, but I don't think I really have anything here, and I end up wasting a bunch of time for no reason. But he didn't actually see bishop c7, so I still win this free pawn, and then I try to trade off a bunch of his attackers. And I wasn't really sure about what to do, but I wasn't really scared of his attack either. And here I'm just really locked in, but I did not realize how much time I was spending. If here I can just take, and if here I go here, so there's not really any threat. I'm just gonna push my pawn. Take, and I should be doing fine here. Maybe this is a threat. No, I'm not scared of this because then I can just take. And this is when I found out that I had 20 seconds left. Yo, why is my time so low? Bro, every game. But then I push my pawns down the center of the board and he long castles, which was his biggest mistake because I have this queen f3 check and it's the crisscross applesauce on the diagonals and he gets mated. And then I see this. Swindle that kid with 10 seconds left. 7 blunders! Game 97, again I play an interesting sideline of the London system, where my bishop is on g7, and pushing the f-pawn is a common idea in these positions, but it's not really a big threat, and as long as I open up the center, I should be completely fine. I've had tons of positions like this before, and I'm not too scared of this attack. But after we trade everything off, he doesn't really have an attack, and I'm actually in a really nice position, where my light squared bishop is just super strong. And here I felt like I had the initiative because I had the open h-file for my rook, and I decided to just grab this pawn because I couldn't really find any other way to make progress. But once again, I didn't realize how low my time was getting, and so I couldn't find a good way to defend against queen d6. And I just started hanging everything and I just flagged. And I was really salty after this one because I've just lost way too many games to flagging for no reason. And even though I felt like I had such a strong position in the middle game, and after this I kind of crashed out off camera. Alright, game 98. 3 games left including this one, and let's start it out with d4. Whoa, wait. I've actually never faced the England in this entire challenge. Like, what? Okay, well, I mean, I actually used to play the England, so of course I know this line. Wait, maybe not this one. Yeah, and so I kind of had no idea what I was doing in this opening, but I feel like I just had a pretty comfortable position, and my opponent didn't really gain anything for sacrificing that pawn. But here I had an insane call out. If he sacks, I might crash out. Bro, what is this? Okay, no. Actually, I think since I have my bishop here, he shouldn't have anything. Like, I don't know why he did that, actually. If I just move my knight or something. And here I start locking in. Maybe this. Oh, knight, yes, knight e1, so I can cover it like this, and I stop this, and this is covered. I can block with my knight. Like, he has nothing. I think if I just play knight g2, I should be fine. Because this I'll just take. Or, do I even have to take? Yeah, I can just go here. Oh no, this is a threat. I can just go here right away. I just have to stop this. If I go here, I kick his queen away. I'm hoping this doesn't blunder anything. But I think his queen is trapped here, actually. Yeah, I just have to survive this attack and then I'm have too much material. But I don't know if this is winning or not for him. Yeah, but I think queen d5 and then I should be completely safe. Okay, yeah, because I'm gonna go... Okay, I just have to play faster, but here... And then queen g2, and I trade queens and he has nothing. Yeah, this bishop here doesn't do anything. I can just go here, and now all the squares are covered. And I'm completely winning. That was actually like a defensive masterclass, bro. Like, I actually have no idea how I was able to defend that. I'm usually like so bad at defending, but I survived this one. Okay, let's take like this. So I open up the F file. Okay, let's just trade everything then. Wait, I'm so low on time. Hold on, I have to make sure I don't flag. I'm just gonna sack my rook here, because this queen e7 should be winning. There's no way he survives this. Yeah, I have rook h. That was actually a pretty insane 98th game, and so I'm happy it went like that. Alright, game 99. 2 games left of playing the London system, and after this, I'm never even looking at this opening in my life ever again. Yeah, at this point, I kind of just wanted the challenge to be over because I was just so tired of this opening, bro. But here, I don't even know what opening this is either, and I'm kind of just maneuvering my pieces around to random squares. It actually looks pretty good for me because my knight is very centralized and my light squared bishop is just a monster. I try to trade dark squared bishops so I can bring my queen in and go for this fork, and this happens. That'd be super strong for me. Triple fork. Oh, and he just allows it. Yeah, easy triple fork. And I feel like in exchange is really all I need to win this game. So I'm just really comfortable in this position, and grabbing that rook should just leave me to... Alright, game 99. Don't worry about what happened last time. Let's just go for my reverse London system again. So unfortunately, this is the second time I'm doing game 99 because the last one kind of glitched out a little bit, and I need white for game 100, so we're just gonna do this again. And then my opponent plays king f2, and I was just kind of flabbergasted here, but his king definitely does not belong on f2, and so I should just have a pretty comfortable advantage here. He thinks he has a big center with all the pawns here, but e5 is a great pawn break, and I'm kind of just cracking open the center and trying to attack his king that is definitely misplaced. And I'm bringing my queen in, and I have a lot of pieces going into this attack. But after a knight f4, I'm not so confident about my position. This position kind of sucks for me. And I start spending a lot of time here, but decide to just trade queens. And then we trade off both of the rooks and go into this endgame. And it's pretty imbalanced and kind of unclear about who's gonna win this. But we trade off the knights and the bishops. And yeah, of course this is a win for me because my king is just way stronger than his. And I have a pass pawn. And I win everything. There you go. And beautiful mating technique. Hold on, I'm black. I just got triple black, bro. What is this? Alright, game 100. We get white, and we're gonna go for a mainline London system to end off this challenge. And we do go into a mainline London system to end off the challenge. And I still I'm not sure of the move order, but it doesn't matter. And of course, in the middle game, I go for my signature e4 break because I'm an e4 player, and even if I'm playing the London system, e4 is a great move to just get some space. At least I think it is, because I've been doing that literally every game. And now I'm pretty comfortable here because I have good control of the center and my pieces are pretty active. I just have to make sure I don't blunder anything for this last game because that'd be insanely embarrassing. And his queen is tied down to a lot of stuff, so there is some possibility for tactics here. But I decide to just win a single pawn. Both of my knights get planted in the middle. I spend a while looking for tactics here, but unfortunately there's nothing because his queen covers everything. But I trade off his bishop pair, and then this happens. Alright, we're about equal on time, so I don't have to worry about that this game. And I think I'm just gonna trade since I'm up a pawn. Oh, I think he made it himself. And there we go, that's the game. I'm winning the... okay. Wait. No, this is mate. Alright, we finish off the last game of the challenge with the win. And I think that... this opening sucks. Alright, so at the end of the challenge, the blitz rating I hit was 1773, which honestly... kind of sucks. I'm actually disappointed in myself. I thought I could do more than that. And the bullet rating that I hit was 2050, but with a peak of 2201, which is higher than the ratings on everything, even on my main account. So I'm proud of that. And so if I had to summarize everything that I'd learned from this challenge, it'd be that Nah, the London sucks. Never play it. I was just getting the same positions every game, and it really made it kind of boring. But yeah, my biggest takeaway from this is honestly my time management, because I was just getting way too low on time every game. And so when I play my actual good openings, I'm just play them a little bit faster. This is definitely the biggest project I've ever done, and if you've enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing. If you want to see me do this again but with another opening, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.